Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Single H Show. Your name is...
My name is Ricky Morton. Your name is...
The Single H, and I'm sorry, y'all, that we're gonna be quick, and we're dealing with a new vessel of holding our recording device. So, here, never mind, I figured out how to hold it.
The new cover on the phone is really not doing you much favors, is it?
Yeah, it's weird, but it's fine.
Yeah. I want to talk about this because everyone that's going on this journey, this probably should have been a transparenting or whatever, but...
Well, it can be multiple.
Yeah. But
With all the topics, they all deserve multiple podcasts that bring up the next time we feel like it's been long enough.
That's true. But we went to your endocrinologist
endocrinologist
appointment this week. And I need everyone, when that you are going to your appointments, going with your kids to their appointments, do not be afraid to start asking questions.
You should be asking questions every time something new comes up. It's pretty much a good rule of thumb. Like whenever a higher dose has happened or you're lowering, it's good to always be asking questions when those things come up.
And that is definitely true on your health journey. You need to be open and ask questions every time, because it's kind of like driving a car. A mechanic doesn't know what to fix unless they know what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
But what I kind of want to point out steps outside of the physical a little bit.
Yeah.
And that is, we are moving into a time frame that many of us are afraid. I haven't seen yet the results of the Supreme Court rulings about what's going on in Tennessee, but we're all kind of worried at this time about our children, ourselves, being able to receive gender-affirming care. And please be as open as being brave enough to ask questions now to your endocrinologist.
And I will say that now, we are in a blue state. We are in the bluest of blue states. Your endocrinologist has a higher probability of giving you a different answer.
Depending on where you are.
Yeah.
And depending on what rules and regulations that they deal with. But please start asking these questions. I asked a question at Single H's last endocrinologist appointment that I am really deeply grateful that I asked.
Yeah.
I did not get the answer I was suspecting. I did not. The answer I got was the one I was looking for, but it really didn't answer the question I asked. But it really did work around through conversation. My question was, with the new presidency, we don't know how things are going to end up. Is there other forms of testosterone, whatnot, that might even be over the counter that we could take so that Single H could stay on his journey? The answer was no. But because of the way I asked the question, the doctor was able to answer the real question I had.
Yeah.
I was really pleased to find out, living in a blue state, living in a place that is a safe harbor state for many things, from abortions to LGBTQ care, immigration care. I was really blessed to find out that they are already having conversations within their medical meetings that are addressing my concern. The phrase that I was really, really blessed to hear from the doctor was, it's something that we're talking about and working on right now. And thankfully, because that we exist in a blue state, it's not really something that you'll have to worry about, but it's something that we're reviewing.
Yeah, and especially because our new endocrinologist also said, like, we have laws in place already to make sure that won't go through.
Yes, and
it will not touch us because we already have this laws in place that they can't overrule at the state level.
And we are awfully close, terribly close to all of the laws against children not mattering to you anymore. But I don't want any setbacks. Nobody wants any setbacks for you.
Especially because already they don't care. They're going after everything. We've already seen in other states they're moving. They made a law that is literally 23 or up to 28 until they see people are viable to know these things.
They can be 21 years old and buy a drink, but they can't make a decision for their own bodies.
Yeah.
And
so, but I'm going to say words. They're going after the children because a part of their beliefs value is children have no bodily autonomy. They have no free-flowing thoughts about themselves. That's why they're going after them, because they're already using them as a scapegoat internally.
It is literally a scapegoat mentality.
Yep.
And a lot of this, and it is children and women because of abortion rights. There's no bodily autonomy for women or children.
Or anyone like trans max.
Explain that. I don't understand that.
Because I'm trans max, I still have all those organs.
Okay. Say that again. Say the phrase again.
Because I am on that spectrum of trans, I still have all the organs that a regular cis woman has.
Yes.
It still affects me. Even if that different gender markers there, it still affects me. It's more like, I'm gonna rephrase the statement to cover everyone. Anyone assigned female at birth, they are attacking.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with you in a moment, but I am also agreeing with you.
Everyone assigned female at birth, that doesn't agree with them.
Yes.
But even then, they're still attacking the people who do, because no matter what, those laws will affect them.
And you said trans-masking? What is the term?
Trans-max.
Max. M-A-X?
M-M-A-X.
Max.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's short for trans man.
Okay,
but
I
for
got
like
you.
the medical term.
It's a short word, but it's the same amount of letters. I'm sorry.
Well, it's trans-masculine.
Mass. Trans-mass.
But we don't want to say the word.
I got you. So, you're right. But I'm going to share with you, at least transgender-wise, I don't think that anybody cares about you, transgender-wise.
Well, I know that. But they don't understand that people like me exist.
That's true.
Because if they knew that, it would break every fucking hole in their argument.
No, that's true, because from what I see, and I realized a couple of podcasts ago, I shifted the focus that you were trying to have, and I really regretted that. Yeah. But I do need to make this point. I feel that all of the hate is about MTF transgender. I think male to female transgender. They don't want, the phrase is always, they don't want men going in the women's restroom.
Yet.
They don't care, but they never say anything about women going into men.
Because we break their argument.
Okay, we're saying
saying
the
same thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying it in the more open phrase way. That it can hit everyone.
I hear you.
That it is affecting, and that's what I would try and do the last podcast.
Yeah, I hear you.
That we were having this on.
Yeah.
I'm good at open phrasing what you're saying in a way that it's not closing anything that is a part of it.
Fair enough.
Like, I will bring this up. A lot of churches will say women are people that have the economy to give birth. Some cis women can't give birth.
Yeah.
They're cutting that out. I'm not making sure we're adding on the thing that they are forgetting.
Yes.
And that we're hitting it all.
Now, sometimes I mask and say, can you define this term?
Yeah.
Even though I know it, and sometimes I don't know it. I do know what a TERF is, but please explain it to the few listeners. What is a TERF?
TERFs are gender radical feminists. Typically, the most famous one at the moment is J.K. Rowling. That they are going on the TERF of we're protecting women, but really they're not.
And the senator is trying to stop the other one from having usage of restrooms in the Capitol.
Yeah. She would be labeled as a TERF.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. That's why I'm going back to it on the podcast. Me to make sure I'm not devaluing your statement. I'm adding to it.
Yes. Fair enough. I got you.
So, that's why I'm like, also non-binary people, also trans people.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize they're hitting the whole category of people.
Yeah.
It is more than the one because they hit them all simultaneously. For one, I'm going to reiterate a statement that I have said, you attack one of us, you attack all of us.
That's true. So let's talk about our original topic a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no better time than the present to ask every question that you can.
Yes.
And thankfully, we got the answer that we're looking for. But if you're in North Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Texas wasn't on the list that I saw.
It's still a red state.
It's still a red state, and they're trying.
And they're still...
Yeah. If you're in one of those many places...
Yeah. Be prepared for an answer that you don't want to hear.
But still ask it. And here's the deal. Be ready for it to... It might blow back in your face, but there still exists within the American populace doctor-patient confidentiality. So if you ask these scary questions and somehow it gets out and you get in trouble for it, grab a lawyer and challenge whoever outed that information on doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yeah.
It should be one of the more safest places that you can go and have conversations about your body. But if you have a doctor that outs you for that,
doctor-patient confidentiality.
Tell them to back up the dump truck full of money because you've got bounds for a lawsuit.
Yep.
Yeah. But it really isn't, and I do have to say this too. There are already many examples of doctors in these places that have restricted abortion access and transgender restrictions that are having their medical licenses challenged because they're trying to do the right thing, because in the Hippocratic Oath you swear to do your best for your patient.
Yep.
And there's been people that have moved for abortions or transgender rights that are having their medical licenses challenged because they're also trying to follow the oath that they take as medical professionals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the government is making them break that.
and the government is making them break it. And so that has actually become my argument lately. I told you through Advent that I'm not going to let things go. And today I got in this loop of children are too young to understand. If you think you're one thing, you don't deserve this. And my response back to every single one of them today was, no one should have the opportunity to change something that's been agreed upon between a doctor and their patient.
Yep.
No one.
And most kids know their gender, like, before the age of 5.
Yeah.
And it lets them trying to find the words and pasting the right thing to it.
And
that had been backed up many times.
And for everybody that disagrees with single H on that statement, it's still not your thing.
Yeah.
If that 5-year-old's doctor and psychologists and parents all agree on it, it's not your thing. I mean, like, once upon a time, a person chose to try radiation to fight cancer. And that was physically harming. But now radiation treatments is successful in many, many cases of cancer care, even though it's also not. There's no 100% path, but to say, well, radiation might cause other harm, so don't do it, it stills the positive effects from someone else.
And I will say that less than 1% people regret going on hormones, regret getting surgeries. That is way less than every other surgery and getting a tattoo.
I had a conversation with somebody on that one today that says their response was, most people regret this later in life. And I wrote them back and I said, that's absolutely not true. The American Journal of Medicine has done research, and most people do not regret it. Most people are happy that they've done it their entire lives, and the less than is people that regret it.
Yep. It is less than 1%.
Yes. So, I just, anyway, the mass holes have just been kind of bombarding. Yeah, MASSHOLES.
Yes.
Yes. So, do you have any closing arguments for today? This is actually a full episode. Do you have any closing arguments?
Y'all, remember, these people probably haven't read a research paper in their life. Don't worry about them. Don't. Please. Kid, we'll teach them how to read soon. And then we'll unravel and we'll help take down the inner transphobia, homophobia, racism, and take it down to hopefully there is none and we're not split in half.
I don't think it's going to be in my lifetime, Hoot, but I hope it's in yours. I really do. So can I tell you one more thing that I dealt with this week as we shut this down?
Yeah.
And that was, somebody just came at me hard with, God doesn't make mistakes. Having bodily surgery or taking medicine to change your body says God makes a mistake. God doesn't make a mistake. So I wrote them back and said, have you ever had LASIK eye surgery to see? And did you ever wear braces as a child? And they was not, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, you had surgery to fix something that God messed up. God messed up your vision. God messed up your teeth. And then they came back with some BS about, well, my kid sucked their thumbs too long, so it messed up their teeth. So that was caused by the person. I said, if it was caused by the person, there would not be a dental industry. So you just made that statement that hopefully people will start reading things. I wish people would start reading things because God damn it.
Yeah, all
They
it takes.
shout about what they feel and they don't know what they're saying.
Y'all take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
Take a look.
Look.
It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Y'all, if you have dyslexia, then make the font bigger. Zoom in on it.
No, because that's saying God messed up and you can't read because God messed you up. All right.
Entirely on my final. I'm going to use that red liner. If you're dyslexic, I'm going to say that even though it's not a big part of the podcast, try adding like color see-through on top of what you're reading. For me, red worked the best. It will help you so much.
Yeah. And it pulls those lines out and it makes them more in focus. There's times I have to pull out a baseball card to line up my words to read.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or I only read books that I know I can read off of like the first 3 words. Off of their font.
Yeah.
And they're normally like more than 12 point.
Well, and Henry Winkler just put out a whole line of books with that in mind too. So
yeah,
there you go. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to end this podcast on a lighter. No.
Yeah. Well, that was a Single H show for this week.
Your name is?
We are
the Good
Brothers. Have a week.
I wonder if we're ever gonna get that right.